Hello there, my fellow toads. First things first, if you didn't understand the joke in the title, the schooling system in your country disappointed you, and you should consider Googling. Why is my dog so dumb? But Johnny-less, I don't have a dog. I took that into consideration, dog. So I'm today playing a champion who is like those people who call themselves non-binary. In other words, they are too ugly to be attractive to either men or women. This rat is probably one of those people who doesn't listen to what you are saying and then makes you repeat it. The best way to deal with such people is to grab them by the neck with your robot arm. I guarantee you that they will listen to you now. Buying pharaoh skin for a character that is already mummy, and as we know, only pharaohs were mummified, wasn't the brightest decision. However, it is always nice to see when every 20th game your jungler remembers that lane gank is a possibility. And it is even rarer if it works out, and it is not just him stealing your experience. This is something that shall be called from nowadays Johnny-less strategy. It happens when you don't have wards, but you are very curious whether the enemy jungler isn't taking Drake, so you just casually walk to the dragon pit, check it, and leave, hoping that he won't try to take it until you randomly check it again. Some people will tell you it is about landing those hooks, and some will say it is about the pressure provided by the chance that you might hit the hook. In my opinion, it's all about walking in their face, slapping their buttocks, and making them jump the same way as you do when your girlfriend uses the Uno reverse and slaps yours instead. Sometime later, we get pranked by Rad into thinking that we can continue bullying this child because her father isn't there to protect her due to the incest incident. Luckily, I have special training in baiting from creating clickbait titles, and therefore Mumu can make them commit seppuku by telling them all those stories of girls rejecting him because apparently toilet paper is not a good clothing option when it is raining. Guys, don't forget to treat your deceased friends and family with respect and mumify them. Maybe one day they will bless you, and you will have a jungler that actually ganks. There is this funny red button under the video called the subscribe button, just saying. If you were wondering how the hell did I get into a game where there isn't either Kai'Sa or Ezreal, you should know that your spidey sense wasn't tingling only because you sexualized the thumbnail of this video. In other words, we have Ezreal mid pretending he is mage. The only problem is that he is about as big mage as your girlfriend in McDonald's when she says she doesn't want anything. And then your food starts mysteriously disappearing, and later that night you have regrets, wondering whether it was animal cruelty if you made love to Hippo. Playing Blitz when you are ahead is a piece of cake. However, being a playmaker and a gold taker at the same time is something that I find difficult. When your girlfriend tells you to wait and you ignore it, you might find out that her hole is already occupied by something else. In this case, it is Shaco in the Dragon Pit. Then we chase them down thanks to the most realistic AD carry in the game. It comes as no surprise that when you are shot with an arrow, it slows you down. My good boy title has been stripped down because only bad supports take kills. At least that is lie high elo players believe in. I really need to work on my teamfight commentary. Anyway, it starts with the enemy team not being sure whether it is a good idea to force a fight over no objective with an enemy team that has double their kills. Then Zed runs at me with his Naruto run only to continue running away. Meanwhile, Lulu gets to feel the power of the off-meta pick working in one of 10 games. After that, we have a little guessing game with Shaco. As Amumu continues to chase Zed across the map, we meet the lord and savior of the enemy team. Sadly, she couldn't save even herself. As all turbo leaders in our history, even I die with the feeling that I was the greatest. By the way, do you still remember that 300-year-old British lady? The enemy team is so behind that even Vladimir Putin causes more damage than they do. I like to use the old dude as an example mainly because I am kind of disgusted at how the war on Ukraine was this big thing the first year or so, and nowadays it is barely mentioned. The thing is, though, that it is still a sad reality. I maybe have come late to this party, but there is this thing called clutch in those games for ADHD people. They always talk about tank meta being over, but to be honest, tanks are still the most brain-dead way to win games. Try to think about that before locking in that Yone, Zed, Rengar, and Pyke team comp. Or am I wrong and DPS doesn't stand for dude pressing shit, but something else? But don't worry, guys. I might be living in the attic of my parents' home at 25, but I am not that big of a loser to lose this game. Considering the fact that you just watched several minutes of me being a meta slave, do you guys want me to focus on off-meta picks, or are you okay with me playing whatever I feel like? Let me know your opinion in the comments section. When the Queen of Supports binds me, I explain to them that it's not me being locked here, but them being locked in here with me. After that, I decide to go out with my dog for a moment just to support him while he urinates on this champion design based on 9/11. Imagine being in Matrix trying to dodge all those bullets like Neo just for some dude running at you with a knife, changing your perspective on how many holes the human body has. Imagine having an AD carry that can rotate. This guy is surely an auto-filled support player, rotating like a Beyblade, but despite common myth, Beyblades actually moved and didn't just spin in place. Anyhow, the strong wind created by my spinning blows out the candle. After privileged Karen once again fails the lesson that having Q ready to use is better than missing it, we show her how Demacia would look if it weren't for her. Then ugliest woman on Rift decides to make the queen perceive her beauty by force, which results in some pro play gameplay that my brain cannot deal with, so I just stand afar. If somebody asks, I was on watch duty, but then I am like, would I rather die or be flamed for not following another dumb play of my teammates? So I flash in to kill Steel. Sometime later, I try to match their proactive gameplay, resulting in them being blind, just like your girlfriend is to all the red flags you are giving of. But you are 25 and she is 15, and it is her first time being in love, so she will rather suffer with you than admit that love isn't real. After Ash runs in a straight line as if it were a test of whether she drank alcohol before driving, we kill her, and I am like, okay, it is time to do something important for a change and focus on Cannon Minion. However, my AD carry is like, what does this yellow summoner spell do, and gets double kill. This is probably how it feels when you are casually walking down the street when you notice that a freaking nuke is falling on your head. So you just stand there motionless. Maybe because you are scared, and maybe because you realize you cannot outrun it. However, I knew a guy who said he could run in the rain without getting wet. He dodged all the drops. The only downside was the energy it took to do so, leaving him all sweaty after that. The only reason why there is a dark harvest is because of the gotcha element. You gotta have them all, just like me right here working my ass off to get the last stack from my relentless hunter. You might think, what is the point of me being in this game if my role in this whole team fight was only to kill Steel once? But who gave them all the ability to be ahead so they could cyber bully enemies? The game ends as all games in League of Legends do. Therefore, somebody experiences a mental boom. Anywho, I leave you Johnnyless for now.